Good evening, I'm Jess Liptzin. Taylor's off tonight. Thanks for joining us. A Janesville man was arrested Friday for drunk driving twice in one day. 56-year-old Jeffrey Janisic was pulled over during a traffic stop on the 1200 block of North Ringgold Street. Janesville police charged him with operating while intoxicated. He was then released to a sober individual at 6 p.m. Several hours later, Janisic was arrested again, this time driving southbound on Millen Avenue near Mount Zion Avenue. Janesville police say his original release was normal for an OWI first arrest. After his second arrest, he was held in the Rock County Jail for continued dangerous behavior. Well, David, they've been hard at work for weeks, already finishing one of the 8 playgrounds they're working on. It's become a passion for the apprentices as they learn the ins and outs of their future career.
This young of an age to get this opportunity and work with the people that I'm working with is beautiful, man.
Keon Johnson is one of 6 in the program helping build sidewalks throughout the city. He says it's an opportunity he's been blessed with. Him and many others strive for careers in the field, and this partnership with LT Construction and the city of Rockford has made it possible.
When I first got out of high school, I always wanted to do construction, but I never got the opportunity to do it. So I seen the thing that he was doing where he was posting that he needed people to come out and do this. So I got tagged in and I was like, yeah, this is the opportunity that I've been waiting for.
Waking up early each morning and going to work is something the apprentices embraced. It's led by Albert Tank Weathers. He has done construction his whole life and hopes to pass on his passion to others. He says with this program, he's able to change his community for the better.
There's a lot of the black population it's like 1% concrete finishes in the state. So they don't see black concrete finishes in the city, but now our community is actually seeing not only black concrete finishes, but they're seeing young males and females finishing concrete. So it's a big win for everyone, for our community to see that this whole park is getting done, but it's not just the park getting done, it's who's doing it.
It doesn't just look like they're working, but having fun doing it. Those I spoke with say the impact Tank has on them is turning this summer program into their lifelong careers.
He a real good motivator. Like, he motivates us all, even though he might yell at us, he give us all compliments. He makes sure we all smiling at the end of the day and that we like doing what we do.
Go further. We want to take this far, Yeah. I love this job. This is the first time doing it, and I promise it's probably the best job I had so far.
That's where I'm staying. I'm not going nowhere else.
The project is going through the spring and into the summer with a graduation from the program in late August. Most of those that joined the program in the past have jobs directly because of it in construction today. David?
One more thing before we go tonight. Tamanika's out, so she hand-selected the person in the building who she thinks is the coolest to tell us what's buzzing. Jess is here from Eyewitness News. Are you ready to tell us what's buzzing, Jess?
I am. There's no better honor than being called the coolest by Tamanique, so I'm happy to be here.
All right, so what's buzzing this week?
So the biggest thing buzzing right now I see is a lot of people talking about one of the shows that you really enjoy, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, okay.
And that how long is too long for a TV show?
Okay.
So, I guess right off the bat, I'm sure you're happy that they're coming out with another season.
I will tell you how I feel about Grey's Anatomy. I've been watching it since I was in high school, and it's truly the only show left, on network television, that I feel like I owe my time to.
Okay.
And my thought is I have an hour every week, so I will continue to watch it.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get, from seeing people online. Most people who love the show already are gonna, of course, love to see it, continue.
Right.
But, my sister's been trying to get me to watch it, and I'm just another season. I don't know if I could binge 20 seasons.
That's how Sydney is.
Yeah.
Our producer Sydney. I'm like, you can do it, Sydney. She's like, I can't start now, and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, I guess it depends maybe on shows, because I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and that was 20 seasons, and then you have Law and Order SVU, which is 25 seasons. So there are shows that go that long, but 20 seasons to start from the beginning.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I definitely agree with you, and I do believe the earlier seasons were best, but that's my standpoint on it, is I have an hour, and now with streaming services and everything, it's just so much easier. What do I not have an hour?
Yeah.
And I know other people who have said, Steve Shannon from 97 VOK, he is also a Grey's long-term fan like me, and he goes, I just have to see how it eventually ends.
See, that's the thing. It's don't you, of course you want to see it continue, but it's also I want the ending.
But the truth is, I would be totally fine if they canceled it. I would not be sad. I'd be like, okay, then get my hour back.
Yeah.
I can watch something else. You can let us know on social media. What do you think about all of this? Or are you truly loving these characters so much that you never wanted to end? We want to hear from you, Jess. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
And telling us what's buzzing. We will see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
After nearly a year, the Chicago Bears are back in the win column. The Bears took on the Washington Commanders last night in our nation's capital. Justin Fields and DJ Moore connected 8 times for 230 yards and 3 scores. Fields threw a total of 4 touchdown passes that matched his career high he set last week. Bears win this one 40-20. Here's QB1 on the victory.
Seeing all the hard work pay off, especially, getting a dub after everything that's, happened this year, everything in the media, everything on the outside. It just feels good when you can say that the hard work paid off. So again, I'm proud of everybody in the building. I love everybody on my team.
I was nervous, out of this world nervous. So I guess that was my body telling me that we was about to go off. So people was like, "Do you know how many yards you got?" I'm like, "Please don't tell me. Let's not jinx tonight, and let's just focus on this win." But when we got off the field, it was all everybody telling me what I did, and it was good.
Today, the Bears announced Chase Claypool's time with the team is over. The wide receiver has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. In return, the Bears get a 2025 6th-round draft pick. The Dolphins also get a 2025 7th-round pick. Claypool came to the Bears late last season in a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he saw limited action because of injuries, performance, and questions about his effort. Wendell Mimi, that's exactly right. The complaint was filed with the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, alleging there have been violations of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The National Center for Youth Law and the Roderick and Solong MacArthur Justice Center are calling on the Office for Civil Rights to take steps to ensure RPS's disciplinary practices and use of school resource officers do not discriminate against students of color in the district. The complaint alleges that our SROs are racially discriminatorily handling minor school disciplinary issues. Rockford Public Schools said in a statement, the Rockford School District has not been notified by the OCR of any complaint that has been filed. They go on to say, to the extent that the district receives notice from the OCR, the district will respond accordingly. Coming up tonight at 9, we'll hear from those who did file this complaint. For now, reporting for your home team outside RPS 205's building, I'm Jess Liptzin. Back to you guys. Coworkers, family, friends, it's all combined into one. They go from hanging out on their days off to saving lives on the job. A handler and canine do it all together.
There were many people that we would have never found.
There are a lot of times I'm sure that the dog protects the handler that the handler is not aware of.
Mark Hansel and Todd McCluster talk about the life-saving job of a canine officer. The retired Rockford Police Department handlers say police dogs are a crucial part of law enforcement.
We can use all the techniques we have, but if that person just won't come out, or we think he's in there, a lot of times sending the dog in is really helpful because he doesn't have to go by and open every door and go in every room. He could run down this hallway and sniff the bottom of each door, and you're going to know if somebody's in there or not.
Mark was with the RPD for more than 2 decades. He spent 13 of those years as a handler, working with 3 different dogs, Valco, Kazan, and Dry.
When I walked out in civilian clothes dressed like this, the dog would get up and he would stretch, because he was an outside dog. He'd stretch and we'd do whatever we were doing. But if I came out in uniform, he was bouncing up and down and running around and would just run to the car immediately and run around the car and sit at the door because he was excited to go to work.
Todd was a handler for a canine named Bosco. He spent 8 years doing that, then became supervisor of the unit. He spent 25 years with RPD altogether.
The work dog is a partner, and you're in the car with the dog for 10 hours a night. So you get to, the dog goes home with you, becomes part of the family. You're at work with them all night long, and you depend on them, and they depend on you. So yeah, it's a unique relationship, and it's something that's really neat.
Former handlers say the dog will treat work like a game. They enjoy the job, but it can be a lot.
Because it's a hard night for them too. They're in the car, they're standing most of the time as car surfing as you're driving around, and they're hardworking animals. And by the end of the day, they're tired out.
RPD held a procession for Nix Tuesday. She was killed in a recent shooting. Groups of the community came out to show their support. Mark and Todd say that goes a long way for the department and Nix's handler.
Having the support of the community is fantastic, especially when we're trying to come together when we're grieving or when something very serious happens. Because it is difficult for people in the first responder profession to ask for help.
There are a few local nonprofits aimed at helping first responders during these difficult times. If you're looking for those resources or want to donate, find the story on our website, mystateline.com. Eric? The man accused of killing 3 people on a party bus in Rockford appears in court. He's set to learn how long he'll spend behind bars. Raheem King was convicted on several charges, including first-degree murder and armed robbery back in 2020. In April 2018, King opened fire on a charter bus near Auburn and Johnston Avenue. Martavius Blake, Dejan Sistrunk, and Sean Anderson died. King claimed he was acting in self-defense because the men pointed guns at him. Prosecutors argue it was a planned attack. He faces life in prison. Eric, Mimi, it's hot, and I'm so close to jumping into one of these pools behind me, but, I've been able to control myself. As for the rest of Rockford, they seem to be out here at the Sand Park pool as it is packed during this blistering heat. While it can be a fun time to cool off in the water, it's important to keep in mind the sun and heat this strong can be dangerous. I spoke to many who are taking precaution by monitoring the time spent in the sun, lots of sunscreen, and keeping hydrated.
I don't come out in the sun as early as I used to. Of course, use sunscreen. That's very important. Skin cancer is no joke. I'm firsthand. So make sure you wear your sunscreen and limit your time in the sun.
Just lots of water fluids, trying to keep and sunscreen, trying to enjoy the water to cool us down.
The pool here is going to close at 6 tonight, and then we'll open again at 1 o'clock tomorrow. As for the rest of Rockford, you have the Alpine Park Pool and Harkins Aquatic Center as places to cool off. For now, though, reporting at the Sand Park Pool for your home team, I'm Jess Liptzin. Back to you guys.
Jess, thanks for the live report.
David, such heinous crimes were committed, and first responders are the ones that have to find those victims. It can be traumatic, and at yesterday's vigil, an emotional Chief Carla Red reminded us how much they go through.
It was very difficult for me to stand here.
Rockford's police chief speaks to a grieving city at Thursday's vigil, remembering those lost. The head of the RPD was emotional and open about the impact that Wednesday's killing spree had on first responders.
I'm a Rockfordian born and raised. And such a tragic event does not represent this community. As a leader of the Rockford Police Department, I can tell you we're hurting as well.
They all see it, they deal with it. Your adrenaline's flowing at a scene, you're trying to catch a criminal, and then you see the horrific scenes that you do. In this case, so many people were injured and killed, senseless act of violence.
Brad Lindmark is the founder of the Greg Lindmark Foundation. It aims at helping first responders deal with mental health issues, including providing anonymous counseling. The foundation started after Brad's brother and Rockford chief deputy took his own life.
They'll come home to their spouse, significant other, whoever, and they can't tell them about their day. They don't want to worry their spouse with, I got shot at today, or this happened, that happened, this is what I saw.
The Greg Lindmark Foundation and many others brought in food to the Winnebago County Coroner's Office, something the coroners say was very appreciative. It wasn't just food, though. They also left encouraging words. Whether it's police, fire, medical, or so many other first responders, Brad says a simple thank you and nice words can go a long way.
They wake up every day trying to do good. Protect and serve is the motto. So we really need to thank them. You call them for help when you really need it, and they're the only ones running to you.
For more information on how to donate or look for resources through the Greg Lindmark Foundation, visit our website, mystateline.com. David?